New DAIMAKU leader. The list is insanely simple and straightforward. This leader just attacks a lot and try to finish off the opponent before he finish you off. It's quite an easy game plan. This card basically search for your whole deck. He cannot search for your double strike, but he can basically search for everything else. So it is a goated card since you can search your best card in the deck, that is Glorio. And then you have 3 Whis and 4 Shin. But most of the times on turn 1 you wanna drop either your 1-cost draw 1, your 1-cost searcher, or your Whis, depending on the situation, of course. Margarita is a completely boosted card from red, especially after Awaken to close out games. For 1 mana only, it can swings for 20 or buff one of your cards for 10 and combo 10 on top of it, so it's really flexible and it's like one of the best cards in the deck as well. And then you have your 2-cost Self-Awakeners. The Mini Goku Daima, that is a 30k body for only 2 mana and it can combo for 10k. This is one of the best on your Awaken turn. And then in the early game, you usually want to drop either your It or your Pansy. This is one of your best early game drops because it cannot be traded easily. If the opponent swings into it and kills it, you're gonna draw 2 cards. So most of the times he's gonna leave it on board. You can coin it out on turn 1 if you want, or you can just play the normal curve. It can both aggro and self-awaken at the same time. So if you're stuck at like 5 life on your Glorio turn and you have a It on board, you can swing, awaken and still drop your Glorio. So it's quite strong in that occasion. This is just a searchable 10k. I don't think I ever played it, but it's quite nice to have if you miss everything else. But since I have like 12 2-cost Self-Awakeners, I don't really need more. Glorio is like your best deck card, no questions. It can swing 2 times for 35k thanks to your leader effect, and it gives -5 to the opponent leader for the whole turn. So on the Glorio turn, you can swing 2 times for 35 with Glorio on a 15k leader, and that's the same as swinging 2 times for 40k on a 20k leader. So it's really, really strong. And then since the opponent leader stays at -5 for the whole turn, you can also swing for 35 with your leader plus New Adventure. And then you have the double strike to close the games off. It's not strictly better than playing Glorio plus Margarita, but sometimes you need to get rid of one of the opponent cards, so it's quite nice to have. This is just your super combos. For super combos are mandatory in every deck. And then this new card is quite strong because it packs a 15k offensive combo power, but it cannot be used on defense. So be careful because your deck is extremely fragile on defense. And if the opponent knows it, he can exploit it. And then I have a couple of God Kamehameha. You can play It's Over in the same spot, but I think I like this more because I can play it on my turn 5 with an empty board. I can God Kamehameha into Glorio to get rid of an enemy blocker. And I can play it on curve on turn 3 for an early 1-cost removal. It's Over is quite nice on the Awaken turn, but I think it's quite slow. It's quite nice to have versus like the wide aggro decks as Jan and Bazoo can be. You can try both and use your favorite. What's the game plan? You rush Awaken and close the game out by turn 5 or 6 at most. That's usually when you wanna end the game, because after your Awaken, as I said, you're extremely fragile. You have a lot of combo-less cards in your deck. You have 4 Glorious, 4 Pansy, 2 Double Strike, 4 New Adventure and 2 God Kamehamehas. That adds up to 16 combo-less cards. So yeah, make sure you're the one that's aggroing the opponents and not the other way around, or you're gonna suffer a lot. And I've seen some people playing the Kefla package with Gohan and stuff like that, but I don't really like it, because I think Glorio is a better play 9 out of 10 times. So whenever you're at 4 mana and you need to decide between playing a Glorio or playing a Kefla into Gohan, I think Glorio is almost always the better play. That's why I don't run that package. And also, you cannot use your leader effect on both Gohan and Kefla. So when I'm at 3 energy, I usually want to play a Daima card that is either Goku Mini or another Pansy, and then use my effect on either of these two. So that's why I'm not running any of the other non-Daima cards. This is a red mirror match. So when you're facing another aggro deck, I don't think the best play is to fast awaken, but you wanna let your opponent swings into you to awaken normally. I didn't print a it, so if you see black card, that's an it. Okay, I play the 1-cost Searcher, get Glorio, so I'm setting up for later turns. That is really strong. He's gonna swing for 15 and I'm gonna take it. I don't think I'm gonna block the first strike, but since he's swinging with his 1-cost Frieza as well, I don't wanna drop down to 6 life as soon as turn 2, so I'm gonna block it with my Niva. Then I'm gonna control the board, swings as it's Frieza, and go face with Pansy. Look, one thing to notice is I'm not taking my life with my Pansy, because I'm playing versus an aggro matchup. If I'm playing versus a slower deck, I'm definitely gonna take 1 life when I'm dropping the Pansy on turn 2. So he's in a tough spot, because he cannot safely trade my Pansy without giving me 2 extra cards. He's playing the Goku Daima Mini, and then pass turn. I charge to it, and then I'm gonna charge the third one. I don't think I'm gonna use it that much in this match. I prefer sticking a Pansy on board because it can be traded with opponent cards. Gonna swing for 15, he's at 5 life, and then I think I'm just gonna swing for another 20 with my Pansy. But first, I'm gonna drop a 1-cost draw 1. Yeah, just playing it slow. Swing for 20, drop another Pansy, and swing for another 20. I really like this board state, because he, as I said, I don't think he wants to kill my Pansy by trading it, else I'm gonna have 4 extra cards. And that's gonna put a lot of pressure on my opponent every turn. I have 2 20k swings every turn. He's gonna swing at face and try to rush me down. So I'm gonna take it, go back to 5 life, and then he's gonna drop the 30k draw 1 on swing Son Goku. Okay, he's swinging for another 30. I'm gonna block for 35k. With the 1-cost Kenship I played on the turn before. And now this is like the optimal setup. You're on your 4th turn with your leader already awakened, and the opponent doesn't have any blocker on board. So you're free to Glorio and rush the opponent. This is like the perfect setup for a Glorio turn. I'm giving him -5, so he's a 15k leader till the end of the turn. I'm gonna use my effect on Glorio and swings for 35 at 15, 2 times in a row. So he's gonna block for 20 plus another 5. Yes, that's a block. And then I'm gonna swing with my lead and use the extra card for another 35k swing. He's gonna block that one as well. And then I'm gonna swing again with my Pansy for 25 on 15, demanding another 10k plus 5k. He's gonna take it, so he's at 2 life. I don't need to swing anymore. I think I should have swung for 20 base and then try to get the 3rd life with the other Pansy. So that is a little misplay by me on my part, but still, I think it's good enough. So the problem here is I don't think he's gonna survive the next turn since he's at 2 life. So I'm expecting a pushback from my opponent, and I have to survive with my deck. And I'm not that safe from another aggro deck, since as I said before, I run a lot of comboless cards, and I only have 4 life. And my extra cards don't work on defense. So let's see if I can survive this turn. He swings for 20, and then I'm gonna block it for 5, 30k, and I think I have to drop a super combo or take one life. I'm down to 3, so I'm taking it. I have 8 cards in hand. He's gonna drop a Master Roshi, draw 1, and then there's another Piccolo, draw 1 more. Okay, he's not comboing. He's just playing a God Kamehameha and get rid of my Glorio, but I think the game is already over. He's not pressuring my life, and he's 1% dead on the next turn. He's completely dead. Since, as I said, the new DAIMAKU is very strong on the offensive, but very weak on the defense. And now I'm just gonna end the game. Charge the 5th energy. Swings for 20. He needs to block. And then I'm not gonna swing at lead anymore, or he's gonna take it. I'm just gonna swing at a piece on board and drop the double strike. So I'm buffing it with my leader up to 45, and then on attack kill the Roshi, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 110, 120, 150. And that's gonna be enough for the game. He cannot block it. And this is how you play the aggro versus aggro matchup. You never take your own life by self-awakening, and you just play it slower and try to poke the opponent down with your Pansy. And then you're gonna try and rush face with your Glorio, followed by another Glorio plus Margarita turn, or your double strike. And that's how it goes. You're not safe, like this is not 100% fail-proof strategy, but it works a lot. Especially if the opponent doesn't understand when he should go in. But let's see another game example versus defensive opponent. Okay, this is another game against Yellowgeta. So you're gonna see how this deck is against a very defensive opponent. I'm gonna still play my Glorio, search for a DAIMAKU, and I'm gonna charge my Whis and pass the turn. It's gonna charge in energy, swings for 15, and now I'm gonna take it and go down to 7 life. I'm gonna play a Sorbet on board, draw 1, pass turn. Then it's my turn again. I'm gonna charge a double strike and play a It. I'm gonna swing, take life, and gives -5 to the Sorbet, and then I'm gonna swing with my leader as well. And he's down to 6 life as well. He's charging another Majin Vegeta, swings for 15. I'm gonna take it, drop down to 5 life. I'm gonna play a Sorbet. Draw 1, not from life, but from his deck. And then pass turn. My turn again. I can awaken on this turn, thanks to my It. Or I can awaken by playing another card. So let's see. I'm gonna swing. -5 to Sorbet, take life. Awaken, draw 1. I'm gonna buff, I think, my Neva, and swings for 15. Yes. 15 face. That's quite nice, because you wanna go wide against Yellowgeta and not go tall. Because he's really good at blocking tall attacks, but he's not very good at blocking a lot of attacks. A lot of cheap ones. I'm gonna play another Nevo. Searching for my Glorio on the following turn, but I can't find it. I'm gonna take 1 cost, draw 1. And then I think I'm gonna just drop another 2 cost. Yeah, and that is Pansy, and I'm gonna swing for another 20k. Okay. Vegeta turn. He's at 3 plus coin, so it's his 3rd turn, and he's already awakened and pressured on board. And I'm gonna threaten Glorio turn next. So he has to prepare for it. I'm gonna swing for 20, try and trade my cards. I'm gonna block with my Nevo. And then he's gonna play a Secret Frieza. I think he should swing for 30 here on my hit, but I don't know why he didn't. He just passed turn. I think he didn't want me to trade his Frieza, but that's not my goal anyways. I just want to go at his lead with every one of my pieces. So 35 on 15, as always. I'm always gonna use my leader effect on my Glorio, plus 10 for the turn. 35 on 15, restand. He's gonna play timer 1, and he needs to give me another card here. Against my deck, there's a new yellow card that is really strong. That's called Her Rakshasa. That blocks for 25k and rests one of my pieces. He can completely counter Glorio. So, luckily he didn't have it. I'm gonna swing for another 35. So that is 3 35 swings. And then I have other 2 attackers. Gonna swing for 20. I was thinking about comboing for 25, but I don't really care. I can just swing for 20 because he has 1 open energy. And then I'm gonna swing for another 20. And that's it. Now he's at 2 life and he's in danger. He's gonna swing for 20. And my hit, I think. And the hit is dead. Because I cannot protect it from the Frieza swing as well. So it just dies and that's it. He's playing a Bulma. Recover the time rewound. I'm fine with that. And he's gonna play the 1 cost spell. That's gonna keep my Glorio frozen on place. And draw 1. And then another Bulma. He swings. Use it to draw 1. And then he's gonna pass turn. And untap 2 energy, I think. Oh, he's gonna play a Sorbet. Okay. Of course, I'm gonna take this swing. Because I don't really care. I wanna close the game out on this turn. So, as long as I'm above 0 health, I'm fine. I can even go down to 1. I'm gonna charge a Glorio because I wanna close the game with my double strike here. Glorio can be phased with El Rakshasa, as I told before. So I'm swinging at Bulma. I don't want this Bulma to stick on board, because he can just play Time Rewound. If I'm going in with my double strike, he can just play Time Rewound, untap his Bulma, tap it to draw 1 and take 1 life, so there are 2 more cards that he's gonna draw. That's why I wanna trade this Bulma. And then I'm gonna swing with my lead at face, because if he takes it, I can still play Glorio, but I could arguably go on Bulma as well. Then I'm gonna drop my double strike here for 45, kill the Bulma on attack, and then 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 100, 10, 20, 30, I think it's 140. And he's gonna block for 40, 50, 60, 70. That's not enough at all. So yeah, this is game. When you're facing a late game opponent, you wanna fast awaken as soon as possible, as soon as turn 3, and go for a Glorio turn, followed by an all-in turn on turn 5. Because if you prolong the game after turn 5, you're gonna lose the long game. No way you can deal with those kind of late game opponents by going to the very late game. Yeah, that's it. So now you've seen how the deck faces both aggro and control opponents. You need to play more conservatively against your aggro opponent and play more aggro against the slow opponents. I think the new DAIMAKU is fine. It's quite fragile on defense, but the Glorio play is such an insane play. So yeah, this was it. Let me know what do you think about it in the comments below, and I'm gonna see you next time.